Welcome to the Living Faith Missionary Church podcast. You're about to listen to a message from Pastor Chris Starn, Senior Pastor at Living Faith in Yoder, Indiana. It is our prayer that this message is an encouragement and a blessing to your life.
If you want to open your Bibles to the book of Isaiah. We are in Isaiah 35. You know, I imagine all of you at one time or another have asked the question, why? And I'm not talking about the existential, why are we here? And we were going to get to that. Believe me, why the universe exists. But have you ever wondered why God has allowed certain books of the Bible to last, to actually be reserved, to be saved from destruction? I mean, think of the number of books throughout history that we don't have anymore. I don't know if you know this, but there was a huge library in Alexandria, Egypt, that had all of the books of ancient history. Ones that we will never see because it burned to the ground. How is it why did God choose the books that he did to be preserved? And then also, why is it that at a certain time, a little boy found a cave that had a bunch of jars in it that confirmed that the writings that we have here were the ones that they used back before in the first century BC? Why? Why did God do this? What is the purpose of all this? What do they do? Why does God preserve them that way? Why were the four Gospels written down? Why do we have the books of the prophets in the Old Testament? To tie this to our curtain series, why did Isaiah write what he wrote? Why did he write it down? I don't know about you, but I don't go about my day writing down everything I say and everything I do. Thank goodness, because I'm not so sure I want to remember some of the things I think. But Isaiah is writing this down as he goes along, I imagine, or at least going back and remembering it. And then God gives him the ability to remember all the things that happened. What was God's original intent in having this book preserved for us today? I mean, I know we always want to look at the context. What was the writer's original intent? What was his context? Who was he writing to? I mean, that's important to understand, to actually interpret the scriptures. But ultimately, the ultimate author of the Bible is God himself. So what is his intent in having this today? Us, the state of Indiana, on October 23rd of 2022, right here at Living Faith. Why would we be looking at Isaiah 35? What does God want from us with this? But see, in reality, we can't just stop at Isaiah. We can't even just stop at one book, because each book of the Bible is not an island unto itself. Each book is an important part of a whole narrative, a whole story of God and his interaction with us. Now, there are other questions that we must ask, obviously, and this might bring us to the existential question of why did God create us? Why did he create the world? He wasn't bored. I mean, God didn't lack anything before the creation of the world. Before the creation world, he had the sons of God. We know that from Job, because it says, he asked Job, were you there when at creation, the sons of God shouted for joy? We know he had his heavenly host. He had them before creation. We know he had, for eternity past, he's had the Trinity. He's been in perfect relationship. He's been lacking nothing. What prompted him to create creation? What was his intent in creating this amazingly beautiful world? I believe that his intent in doing so was that it would be filled with his glory.